Hey guys! In this lesson, I'm going to show you a popular manual technique among typographers. You'll see it's really cool and great for practicing. For this practice, we just need blank paper. It could be a notebook or blank sheets, a pencil or propylene pencil, and an eraser, although we may not need it. This one I have here is an eraser holder, but you can use any eraser. You also need tracing paper. It can be normal tracing paper, parchment paper, or even baking sheets. The important here is that it's transparent and we can see through it. Apart from these, you also need other tools that I don't have here, but you can use like markers, brushes, rulers, squares. These are really useful for inserting the guidelines or for drawing certain styles. The first thing I'm going to do is insert the baselines to write the word I chose, which is love. It's important to fill in the characters to be clear about the weight. After finishing the sketch, let's keep working with different versions until getting the final result, okay? We are going to do it using tracing paper. Okay, in the first version, I'll try to reduce contrast by widening the thin strokes. As you can see, I'm reducing contrast but not the weight of the thin strokes. That be the case, thick strokes should be thinner. Okay. This time, I'm going to make the letters larger and narrower. In all fonts, there's a relation between height and width. And depending on this relation, fonts can be more or less condensed. By increasing the height, the fonts become more condensed. And now I'll try to increase the weight. This time, I'll make rounded ends. Let's insert serif now. For those who don't know it, serif is a small line attached to the end of a stroke in a letter or symbol. Guys, remember that there are lots of different types of serifs, so we can use different options and try different versions, okay? As you can see, we're going to get numerous and diverse options from a simple version. Well, this technique is useful not only for trying out different styles, but also for improving the one we picked. Okay? So now we are going to select this option, and what we are going to do now is improve and perfect this version. How? Well, I need to move them down to adjust them to the baseline, or reduce the letter spacing between the V and the E. We are going to use the tracing paper to reintroduce these changes. In the previous lesson, we saw that calligraphy can be used to generate letterings. Well, typography can also be used for that. Here I've printed this word with a particular typeface, right? Then I've made a first version using tracing paper. But I've made it irregular by reducing the letter spacing and not adjusting it to the baseline. Then, in the second version, I've made the font rounded, see? And in the third one, I've also rounded the serif. See? So, using a typo as a reference, I got something completely different. In this other word, I made a first version increasing contrast, and a second one including serif. In the word pink, I've enlarged the ends and linked the characters, see? Here I just added serifs. So with this, I wanted to show you that we can create custom typography according to our preferences without starting from scratch. Well, I think that the tracing technique is clear, right? In the next lesson, we'll start working with the project and seeing some references. So, see you there!